kids, so glad you could join us today.
This month, all month long, the month of May, we are talking about self-control. Do you guys remember what self-control is? That's right. Self-control is choosing what you should do, not what you want to do. Today, we're going to learn more about how to use our words the right way, how words can be hurtful, and how words can build people up. So we want to be building up with our words. Let's see what John has to say.
Okay, this goes in here. Close it and all right. Oh, hi. I'm John. I've just turned on my dad's old computer, so we've got a couple of minutes to talk before it warms up. I'm here to learn about self-control with you. Self-control is choosing to do what you should do, not what you want to do. And what I want to do is play video games all the time. But I thought it would be good to take a break from all the racing games and RPGs and all the stuff I usually play and try a good old-fashioned text-based adventure game from the 1970s. Oh, hey, look at that. Okay, it's ready. All right, let's see here. Wilderness survival. Travel along with the Blitzen family as they make their way across the unsettled lands of America in the 1800s. No fancy video game controllers for this one. All I need is a keyboard, my fingers, and the good old noggin. It's pretty easy, but hey, maybe I'll learn something. All right. You have entered the general store. The shopkeeper approaches. Hello, shopkeeper. Give me all your money. The shopkeeper hits you with a hammer. You have died. What? Come on, I was only kidding. Start over. You have entered the general store. The shopkeeper approaches. Hello, shopkeeper. Hello, Mr. Blitzen. What can I sell to you today? You can buy oxen for $300, grain for $150, or a bow and arrow for $250. $250 for a bow and arrow? Are you out of your mind? Shopkeeper drops a safe on your head. You have died. This game is useless. I don't even... Yes, you have entered the shop. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Hello, shopkeeper. I would like to buy some grain. That'll be $5,000? Okay. A minute ago, it was $150. What kind of business are you running here? Ugh. The shopkeeper shoots you with the bow and arrow. You have died. I can't believe people actually played this game. Whoa. So, today is about being careful about what you say. If you aren't, you might have a safe dropped on your head. How can I be dead? I haven't even started the game again.
Wow, that was fun watching John, but boy, that video game, he kept dying. And you know why he kept dying? It was because of the words he used. And it is so important that we use the right words. Our main point today is selecting your words carefully, and John wasn't selecting his words carefully.
Let's get up and use our words to worship.
I raise a hallelujah in the presence of my enemies. I raise a hallelujah louder than the unbelief. I raise a hallelujah. My weapon is a melody. I raise a hallelujah. Heaven comes to fight for me. darkness flee. I raise a hallelujah in the middle of the mystery. I raise a hallelujah. Fear you lost your hold on me. I'm gonna sing in the middle
Proverbs 21:23 says, "Those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity." In today's Bible story, we're going to hear about a couple boys that weren't careful with their words, and it caused trouble.
Now, let's sit back and watch our lesson.
And now for an amazing story. Inspired by the book of Proverbs, chapter 21, verse 23.
Everyone knew the Martin Schoolhouse Spelling Bee was the toughest in the county. The school's teacher, Miss Pinkerton, stood in front of all 40 students and cleared her throat.
This year's spelling bee will be next Friday. The winner will get to choose his or her own puppy from Sally Dog's latest litter.
Everyone immediately turned to look at Adam Hart and Charlie Wisehouse, the top spellers in the school. Little Johnny clutched the edge of his desk and whispered loudly,
Adam and Charlie are so smart. One of them is gonna win.
Charlie, short and stocky, glared at string bean thin Adam. They had been best friends until last month when Adam had made fun of Charlie's trained goat.
That goat looks just like your grandmother, with a luxuriant beard.
Charlie had narrowed his eyes and reached up to flick the hat off Adam's head.
Well, that straw hat makes you look like a preposterous porcupine.
Just like that, the boys became enemies, and it was clear they were both determined to win this spelling bee. Charlie leaned across the aisle.
Your spelling is paltry. Paltry.
Better than having your infinitesimal brain power. INFINITESIMEL.
Infinitesimal ends with AL, not EL.
I was just testing to see if your minuscule brain could handle it. MINI. Boys!
The boys looked up to see Miss Pinkerton standing over them, slapping a pencil against her palm.
I hope you remember that words are about much more than winning a spelling bee. The book of Proverbs says, those who are careful about what they say keep themselves out of trouble.
The boys quickly straightened up. Charlie smiled innocently.
Indubitably.
Adam flattened his impeccable hair.
Most assuredly.
Well, I'm glad you understand. Class dismissed for recess.
As usual, the students gathered under the huge oak tree beside the deep, fast-flowing creek. Charlie surveyed the long branch that hung over the creek, nearly to the jagged rock in the middle of the water. He smirked at Adam.
Bet you're too petrified of getting your hair wet to climb out there and jump down onto the rock.
Well, you're such a lummox you couldn't do it if you tried.
Ninny hammer.
Blather's kite.
From across the schoolyard, Miss Pinkerton watched the debate. Little Johnny stared at his heroes with wide eyes.
I could do it. Climb out there and jump.
The boys turned as one, annoyed.
Don't be an imbecile.
You're far too puerile.
They turned their backs on Little Johnny and returned to insulting each other.
Sycophant.
Troglodyte.
Stung, Little Johnny scrambled up the tree.
I can do it. They'll see.
He inched his way out to the very end of the overhanging limb. It shook dangerously.
Look at me!
Immediately, everyone turned to see Little Johnny. Miss Pinkerton raced toward the creek. Charlie and Adam hurried toward the tree trunk.
No, Johnny!
Don't do it!
But Little Johnny had already let go of the branch. He plummeted toward the rock and landed hard, nearly hitting his head as he rolled. Charlie and Adam stared at each other in horror.
It's
You
your
made him do
fault.
it, being
What
so
you
mean.
said.
They both glanced back at the rock where Little Johnny was sprawled, and the truth slowly sunk in.
It's
my fault.
Both boys dove into the water, swimming hard against the current. As they approached the rock, Little Johnny opened his eyes.
This rock is very hard. H-A-R-D.
We'll get you back expeditiously.
on the double.
Carefully, the two older boys made a cradle with their arms for Little Johnny and ferried him back to the creek bank where Miss Pinkerton waited. She studied them as she wrapped her shawl around Little Johnny.
Just how did this happen? Choose your words carefully.
We didn't.
The two boys exchanged guilty glances and cleared their throats.
I called him an imbecile.
I said he was puerile.
It was unconscionable.
Reprehensible.
Indeed. Do you have anything else to say?
The boys turned to Little Johnny.
You were the only one of us with the tenacity to try the tree.
You've got true fortitude.
Thank you. I think.
Charlie and Adam shook hands with little Johnny and then with each other. Not only was little Johnny okay, but Charlie and Adam were once again friends, using their words to encourage rather than tear down. And that was worth far more than winning some spelling bee.
Boys and girls, Charlie and Adam had a hard time in today's Bible lesson, didn't they? They were having a hard time using nice words. And because they chose not to use nice words, they ended up hurting each other and they hurt their friend, all because they chose to use mean words. Today, we're going to be talking about how words can make a difference. So as our verse says, Proverbs 21:23, those who guard their mouths and their tongues keep themselves from calamity. Boys and girls, our words can cause a terrible mess if we're not careful with the words we use. So today I'm going to have Leah come up and help me demonstrate how words can be messy. So Leah, I hear you have a friend named Sally. And I hear that you guys had an argument just lately. And I hear that you guys use some pretty mean words towards each other. Oh my word. And that wasn't the end of it. You still used angry words at her. Ooh. And this is getting messy. And you still have more mean words that you guys were using towards each other. You still weren't done. And more angry. Aren't you getting past the anger stage? You should be by now. Okay, that's a lot of mess you have right there. Yuck. I have something I'd like you to do. So, I would like you, here, let me hold this for you, to take this knife and to put all of that toothpaste right back in that tube. Yep, all of it. Go for it. Yeah, come on, you can do it. Hey, it's got to go in the tube, not on me, please. Come on, you can do it. Oh my word, it's making a terrible mess. Come on, you can do it. A little more. Oh, that's not going in too well, is it? Okay. All right. Boys and girls, just like this mess here, the words that we use that come out of our mouth, if they're mean, they're angry, that can cause a mess just like this. So boys and girls, remember, we need to do what our bottom line says. Select the words that come out of our mouth, select them carefully. So let's see what John has to say and has learned from the video game.
Those who are careful about what they say keep themselves out of trouble. But you didn't have to read that one in a book of Proverbs to know that it's true. Have you ever let something slip out of your mouth that got you into big trouble? Like when you talk back to your teacher at school? Or when a friend catches you saying something bad about them behind their back? Or when your mom overhears you saying a bad word you're not supposed to say? Words are little things that cause big problems, so it's important to use them wisely. And that's true whether you're saying them out loud or writing them in a text or email. There's just one little problem. Jesus' brother James wrote in the Bible that no one can tame the tongue. Which means if you really want to control what you say, and if you really want to control what you text or email, you're going to need some help. So ask God to help you think of words that are positive, instead of words that'll just get you into trouble. The one thing to remember today is this: select your words carefully. Take time to think before you use your words, and it might just save your life one day. In this game, anyway. Thank you, Mr. Shopkeeper. I'm sorry for being rude earlier. Huh? The shopkeeper forgives you. You become best friends. Ah! I think I'm getting the hang of this. I'll see you next time. Why don't you come to California with us? I hear there's gold in their hills. Are you making fun of the way I talk? No. I'm alive.
Boys and girls, John learned today about how important words are and how careful we need to be about the words that we use. So like we've talked about, self-control, choosing to do what we should do and not what we want to, when we're angry or we're upset, we need to do just like our bottom line says. Select your words carefully. Boys and girls, as you go this week, make sure what is coming out of your mouth you have thought about and you've selected carefully. Bye, guys.
Bye, kids.